And pretty much being that he has so much constraints on him, that's going to be crazy. But I got an interesting take on Young Thug. I think he needs to make a gospel album.
Really?
I think he need to do some type of something to get these GA people off of him, the state attorneys, all that. Because me and you disagreed on this. I think that 15-year probation was a setup.
Maybach music.
It's the big boss, Rick Ross. Right now you rocking with the hottest DJ in the game. Let's go.
Can we make hip hop great again? This is your boy DJ Bugsy, Do It for Hip Hop Podcast, episode 119. I got my bro
JK in the building. You can call me JK Trump because after the day, y'all niggas is gonna hate me after these takes, man. Hip hop on some other shit. It ain't even 2025. Go ahead, brother.
Yo, you funny as shit today, boy.
It's crazy, man. What the fuck is going on out here, man?
Yo. So before we get into what we've been witnessing the last 24 hours, obviously Drake is on his shit, on his, going to court type shit, suing type shit. Before we end the album, GNX came out with Kendrick. Before we even get into all that, I want to go a little bit into the ATL. So Lil Baby's working on a project. Is featuring Future, is featuring Young Thug. Shout out to Young Thug, was able to make it home. Hopefully he's staying down. You got a crazy ass probation period that he got to get through, man. I'm praying that he do. I'm glad to see him back home with his family. Drake dropped $1 million on him. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to just hear music from him, period. But what I want to ask you, what do you think Lil Baby's going to do now? Do you think he still has the potential to be that guy in hip hop?
I think he does, but the problem is when he first came out, they was giving him too much. Like he said, he was the Lil Wayne of the generation. I think they was giving him too much credit. So it kind of put a lot of pressure on him. Okay. So now that he's not dropping like the hits that he was before, it's like, oh, damn, like, is he falling off? Is he going to come back and do what he did back in 2017, 2018? But only time will tell. You know what I'm saying? Thug is with him, so hopefully they could cook up some shit and, bring Baby back to where he was.
I think that it's going to be a lot of variables that's connected to that. I just think that it depends on what he put out and how his audience respond, his fans. I know he's been on a decline ever since the White Party. I don't know if that contributes to it or not.
That kind of killed him, but
you know what I mean? I do think that a lot of the antics that happened, it was some other shit that happened too, but it was fake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know, it'll be these smear campaigns being created where they're trying to take down the top guys. And on top of that, he was doing a video shoot and it was like a shootout like during that time as well.
Yeah, I forgot that happened,
Yeah, so he got a lot of shit that is that's like coming out of the woodworks, like just happening to him. Yeah. So I don't know how he can fix it or his PR team or whatever, but I want to see him do his thing. I really like Lil Baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, you got Young Thug. He's a giant when it comes to ATL. So we don't know how that's going to all transpire as well. But again, we don't know what his music going to sound like because according to his probation, he can't be rapping about what he typically would rap about. So we don't know what that sounds like.
Yeah, and pretty much being that he has so much constraints on him, that's going to be crazy. But I got an interesting take on Young Thug. I think he needs to make a gospel album.
Really?
I think he need to do some type of something to get these GA people off of him, the state attorneys, all that. Because me and you disagreed on this. I think that 15-year probation was a setup. I think that they're pretty much he can't perform in Atlanta unless he go there for whatever.
He can't go there at all.
And all that.
He got to stay out of it.
He can't talk about the guys. If he say slime one time, 20 years in jail. So what else can he do besides change his image? Probably do a little song with Drake that is probably like kid friendly, like how Drake did the joint with J. Cole.
Or Hotline Bling.
Or do some
dancey
commercial.
TikTok-ish.
Or something that's gonna be like, I ain't a thug no more. That's my name, but I ain't on that type time. And then have it produced by Kanye West. I'm just playing. But I'm just saying.
No, why not Kanye West? I think that's dope.
But that's what I'm saying. He need to do something that's going to be the opposite of what he was before he went into jail.
Yeah.
So he need to find some type of way to change his image or he going to end up in that 20 years.
Yeah. I agree with that. I just hope it don't come to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's because he got to see his probation officer and all that, and it's like a different tic-tac. Just the same shit what was happening with Meek, where he was, you know what I'm saying, going through the shit, and then he popped the willie and got locked up because he didn't tell him he was going to New York. He crossed state lines and just, it's a lot of nut shit that be happening too with the probation, where it don't be necessary for them to go back to jail. You know what I'm saying? That too. So it's like a double-edged sword, but hopefully that don't happen to Young Thug.
Yeah.
But, all right, so let's go with the old man Ebro said about hip-hop declining. And I think he's right. I think that hip-hop is declining. I think artists don't care anymore. I think that they want the quick hit and get out the way. What's your take on what he said? And I do agree with him.
I 1,000% agree. I just think that everybody's chasing the quick hit. It's all TikTok. It's all basically, microwave type music where it's just gonna hit real quick. But there's another thing too. We don't respect the legends that came in the game too. Like we don't have the respect. Like it's not from the younger to the older. There's no bridging the gap.
Right.
So basically, when you have people that's just trying to get a quick hit, or they just following another wave, or we just gonna rap like the Detroit niggas, or we just gonna rap like these niggas because it's popping right now. You don't have that guidance where it's like, all right, yeah, that's cool. You're gonna give them the deep shit, you're gonna give them the party shit, but you gotta give them a balance. But being that there's no bridging the gap, what else is gonna be? Everybody's just gonna be for the dollar. So that's where it's pretty much at with rap right now. So I agree with Ebro when he said that.
Do you think it's gonna stay that way in 2025, or do you think hip hop is at a stagnant place?
With the labels right now, being that they're not trying to put money behind these artists, it's gonna be very when 2025 hit, it's gonna be it's gonna be a little bit stagnant, because if they're not putting money behind these people, how they gonna get out there?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, we had the battle, and yeah, we had a little bit of rap where people was breaking down lines, and it felt like we was back in the hip hop shit again. But these labels not spending money, and on top of that, if the independent artists aren't going to get any type of traction, how are we going to get past this stagnant point? So
yeah.
Yeah.
And now let's get to B Dot's top 5. So B Dot did a top 5 hip hop debut of all time. And he put up Doggy Style, he put up The Chronic, and me and you kind of like went back and forth. So listen, B Dot, I love you, bro, but no, like I'm not making Chronic #1 best hip hop debut of all time. I'm not doing it, and I'm not making Doggy Style #2. Like, bro, are you serious? Like that to me is crazy. This nigga basically made a whole West Coast top 5 hip hop debuts of all time. You got 2 West Coast artists, and the rest of the list is like, come on, that don't make no sense to me personally.
Chronic and Doggy Style, I keep trying to tell people, they are the most influential rap albums of all time.
How?
And I'm talking about, like, me and you was talking, you said Nas, and I'm not gonna disagree with you, but that's for the East Coast. When we talking about down south, Midwest, up, it's so many rappers that said my first album that I listened to was The Chronic. And so much stuff done got sampled from that album, and yes, we can go into the samples and all that. But Doggy Style, Chronic, literally, so many people took so much shit from Snoop on the low and Dr. Dre. The sounds, the lyrics, the styles.
And
those
they did
two
the same
albums,
thing to Nas and Biggie.
But on the East Coast, bro. We East Coast niggas, so we gonna hold, you already know, Big my favorite rapper.
So telling me that the West Coast can translate over to the East, but the East can't translate over to the West. That's what you're telling me. That means that Biggie and Nas can't hit the West like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre hit the East.
They translated, but I'm talking about the whole U.S. I'm talking about Midwest, down south. A lot of them was raised off of The Chronic than they was raised off of Ready to Die, bro. And that hurts being a Biggie fan saying that, bro. Yes, we love Nas, East Coast, maybe Georgia, maybe the East Coast line. Yes, we're going to give it to Nas, we're going to give it to Big and Hove, because Hove was on that list too. It was a reasonable doubt, right?
Yeah.
But when we talking about the whole U.S., Chronic and Doggy Style, bro.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I don't see it.
Death Row, you know they had a big impact in the 90s.
Did. But then Biggie came out with Ready to Die and shut the West Coast down. It wasn't nothing them niggas can do until they was able to get fucking Tupac out of prison with the $1 million bail. Without that, All Eyes on Me, the East was still been running shit. They needed Pop to do it because Snoop couldn't do it. Snoop couldn't hold Death Row down. No, we couldn't, because once Doggy Style and the Dog Pound album came out, that was it. Once they dropped that, he didn't come back with a second album to do anything else.
But because he had to drop, you didn't need nothing else besides Doggy Style and the Chronic. To what? Pac came out, what, 95? Doggy Style was 93 to about 94. So Death Row still had shit on lock from that point on.
Not once Biggie came out, they didn't. Once Juicy came out, it was over.
That was still, you know what? That was around the same time because Biggie's album came out, what, 95? 4? No. It came out 94 because the second album didn't come out until 97.
When did Juicy come out?
Probably 93.
The single came out in 93?
The single probably came out like 93.
I got fact check.
But I'm just saying that early 90s, gotta understand, Chronic came out in 92. So literally it was 92 Chronic. I think 94 was Doggy Style. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they had that shit on lock, bro.
Yeah, they had it on lock for the time they had it on lock. But then once Biggie came out, the unlock went undo.
Biggie brought the East back. I'm not going to dispute that. But I'm just saying
so
the argument we're having is an East Coast argument. I'm saying the whole entire U.S., niggas was Death Row out, bro. Down south, up north, Midwest, all of them.
Ready to Die was 94.
94. When did Doggy Style come out?
That was like
92, 93, right?
Yeah, fact check that for me, Scooter. But what I'm saying to you is
93. So we still got a little bit, about a year in there.
Right. I understand that. Y'all had your time. But once he came out, y'all in 94, 95, 96, Death Row was quiet until 96 when Tupac came out of jail and dropped All Eyes on Me.
They was quiet,
They
bro.
was quiet. Look at the
How
charts.
did they get Pac if they was quiet? That's what I'm saying. They still had power.
They got Pac because Suge got money. Nigga, what you mean?
Because he had Dr. Dre and Dogg and Snoop, the two biggest artists at the time.
Listen, I understand that. But what I'm saying to you is, I get all that. But Dr. Dre was on his way out. He wanted to leave Death Row during that time. He was ready to leave and go to do Aftermath. What I'm saying to you is, once Pac got out and they paid that $1 million bill, it was over for Bad Boy. Shit got crazy.
They got over.
We're
having the two different arguments. The thing, we talking about B-Dot's list, right?
Right.
We talking about when albums came out, they impact, right?
And Ready to Die had an impact.
It had an impact on the East because it brought the East back, bro.
No, it had a whole world impact. I'm not hearing that.
World, but
no, man. Come on, man. Ready to Die? Are you crazy?
I'm a Biggie. Understand, bro. I'm a Biggie fan saying this shit.
No,
but
bro.
I gotta give Chronic and
that,
Doggy Style they props, bro.
Not number one, number two.
Yeah, dog.
The best ever? You crazy, bro. No, I'm not doing that today, man. I love them niggas, but that's crazy to me. And then on top of that, Dr. Dre don't even write. He don't even write his
matter.
Shit. His biggest
his style
biggest
of music
record
still
was written by
Jay-Z.
His biggest record was written by Jay-Z. Still Dre.
That was early 2000s.
Yeah, but that's still one of his biggest records ever.
But we talking about debut albums. Biggie even sampled Chronic, bro. Come on.
So with that, you keep talking about sampling.
Because that's the impact of what that album had. Come on.
Off of a sample?
I'm saying the impact, bro.
Yo.
The impact of Chronic was crazy, bro.
I know
we can agree to disagree, but listen, man. This is the conversation me and bro be having, but
you crazy
he was ready to kill me in the text message about this job. But
all right, let's change gears. Yeah. So let's go to Philly real quick. Meek Mill, he tweeted, but they be mad at me, basically saying that when Back to Back came out, they boosted the numbers for Drizzy. They helped Drizzy go number one. He said it was a machine behind him. That's why he went independent. What's your thoughts on how Meek feel about? Because that's basically in a nutshell is what he's saying. And
so
do you think Meek can make a comeback?
Tell me what he said. I don't know what he
said. but they be coming at me. When he talks about the machines and about how he feels about record labels and why he's independent and shit be all the backdoor shit, he basically saying he's been saying that for the longest time, but motherfuckers was acting like it wasn't true. So it took Drake to say some shit, is what he basically saying.
Yeah, it's always been there, and you know what it is. It's not always about the person that says it first. It's about who has the loudest voice to say it. So that's what it is. Yeah, he brought it out and he said what he said, but at the time, you know, Meek wasn't public. He was public enemy number one to the fans. So when it's the biggest artist saying it now, it is what it is. There's plenty of artists that probably been saying it and they know that people been being sabotaged and they not coming out. And artists complain about all the time how they labels be backdooring them and doing all types of shit. But the problem is the biggest artist is now saying it. So I get what Meek is saying, and he was saying it from back then, but the problem is he wasn't the biggest artist saying it. And plus he was going against the biggest artist at the time. So
but do you think they influctuated the numbers when Back to Back was out? Do you feel like they helped Drake make that record be bigger than what it was? Me personally, I don't think so. I don't think Back to Back is bigger that's Not Like Us. So I don't think that's the case. I feel like when you look at what I sent you, the screenshot, the bots, after Not Like Us dropped, it went to 900K in 36 minutes. Damn, Family Matters. I sent the picture.
That was the
that was when it first dropped. It showed Drake's shit and it showed his shit. His shit said 900K in 37 minutes. Drake was still lower than him in 36 minutes.
Oh wow.
So that don't make no sense.
That don't. And going back to your point, you said about the back then, I don't think it had an impact back then because streaming wasn't as crazy as it is now. So basically back then, yeah, they may have tried to do something, but it's not going to be of an impact because back then streaming wasn't what it is now. So niggas can cook the numbers up now with the bots and all that other shit, but back then streaming wasn't what it was now. So I agree. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think they did that. And you know, and then when I told somebody said they did the same thing to Meek, and I'm like, where's the receipts? Because y'all niggas you can't just talk about what something will happen. You got to show receipts. See, with this situation with Drake and Kendrick, we got receipts all day because we got the suing papers, we got the bots, we got shit proof. I need proof. You can't just be saying shit and you ain't got no proof to back your shit up.
Yeah, and plus at the time, Drake was on the rise at that time, so you could state that was just popularity. There's really no way to tell back then. So if it was happening, but like I said, no receipts. We in the time now, streaming is the shit, and everybody's doing the bot shit. You can say the receipts. The boy was online on DJ Academic shit saying, "Yo, they paid me $2,500, then they paid me another $2,500." So there you go. Right.
Do you think Meek can make a comeback though? Do you feel like? Because I feel like all the antics, like I said from the last episode, is kind of like declining his career. It's making his career go down. It's not. No matter what he does. Every time he posts something, 75% of the comments are bad. It's like, you was with Diddy, then they show the beat, then they show him bunny hopping. They show the GIF.
Meme right there.
Like they keep bunny hopping this nigga. Like, bruh, like I don't know, man. And then on Facebook, one of my friends that I went to school with, she said the two worst rappers that make Philly look bad was Cool C and Meek. Cool C shot a cop.
Well, yeah.
And Meek just on Diddy time. Niggas got him Diddy'd out. So I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Cool C and Meek, though?
Yeah, Cool C shot a cop, though.
I mean, that's beyond that. But Will Smith, my man can't get an Oscar no more. I don't know if he can get worse than smacking Chris Rock on stage, but I don't know about that.
But a lot of people feel like Chris Rock deserved that, though.
I don't think so. I just think
I don't think he deserved it in front of millions, but you're not supposed to talk about nobody's wife, though.
He laughed before he got up on. That's all I'm going to say. You ain't going to laugh at your wife getting, you know what I'm saying, then you want to go up there and smack a nigga. But anyway. The fuck? You found it funny, nigga. It's like, the fuck? But,
all right, so yeah, let's get to the Kendrick first, the album. So,
he already know that's what I've been waiting for. He already know. Yeah, I'm ready to go with this breakdown. What's up, man?
Yeah, let me pull out the track list. So, Wayside Morals, like, Merrill's, like I really like the project. I the first song, I really like it a lot, man. I'm actually shocked though, because I thought I was going to get a different kind of Kendrick. I feel like with this project, he was able to balance the Kendrick that we all know and the Kendrick that we are grown to love, because I feel like he got a little bit more commercial on this project. A little bit more commercial.
Definitely.
And he represented for the LA real heavy on this project, because he got all these unsigned artists on the project. So I thought that was dope. SZA is the only known artist that we know on the project.
Roddy Ricch.
And Roddy Ricch too.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. But I'm talking about those other artists that we don't know. I feel like he must have heard in the noise or in the crowd that he wasn't putting people on.
He watched our last podcast 2 episodes ago. Go ahead.
and he noticed that people were really at him about not putting it on for LA.
Yeah.
So he really, really went at it. And I think that's why he has another album, because the next album ain't gonna have all them people.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be just
Kendricked out.
Kendrick out.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what you think of the first joint? He threw a couple shots at Drizzy. You know what I mean? So
I didn't fuck with the first track, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you this is the thing I hate about Kendrick right now. When you the top rapper, and this is what Drake said on Family Matters, what he say? Kendrick just opened his mouth. Somebody go get him a Grammy right now. You the top rapper in rap. I don't want to hear you complain about niggas not giving you props about the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear you talking about Snoop. I don't want to hear you talk about Wayne. I don't want to hear you taking shots at Andrew Schultz and all that other shit. It's just like you just throwing shit at the wall to get mad at. Like, I feel like this was a track that he made that he was angry about niggas spray painting on his mural and all that. Yeah. And that he was just angry, but this should have never came out. Because my thing is, when you hear this song, you peep there was a couple lines taken out, right? If you listen like the first 4 bars, he took a whole line out. I think he was actually saying something about academics, because the line that he said, it kind of ran with academics. But he took a whole line out, then they took the Diddy part out. So that's why I'm saying this wasn't supposed to, I feel like this was just some shit that he was rambling, because it was just a lot of rambling thoughts that he wanted to just come out and just say. But it just was incoherent in my opinion. The main part that I didn't fuck with, and you know the part I don't fuck with, is the part about Wayne. My thing is this. When the thing about the Super Bowl, he only responded because the fans said that the Super Bowl, he should have been on the Super Bowl stage. His peers, Cameron, who was it, Juvenile, a couple of people may had an outrage about it. In my opinion, I don't think Wayne would have said shit about the Super Bowl if people didn't make a uproar about it, right? So basically, if he's upset about the Super Bowl, he's in his right to be upset about it. But he made a video. He said, yo, I took my own accountability because I basically let my own self down and I basically didn't say to myself, well, if I don't get the Super Bowl, I should be able to handle that, right? So he took self-accountability that he couldn't be on the Super Bowl stage. He never said, fuck the NFL, fuck Jay-Z, fuck K-Dot. He ain't say none of that shit. So when you have a line on your first track of you stating, my hard work let Lil Wayne down, to me, that's an egotistical bar. And the shit that makes me mad is, in rap, right, we already disrespect our legends. I hate when niggas do that, because it seems like you tone deaf. Like, your hard work let Lil Wayne down? Let me say this. Did you give us Carter 1? Did you give us Carter 2? Did you give us Carter 3? Did you give us the dedication mixtapes? Did you give us no ceilings? Did you give us the Sorry for the Wait mixtapes? Did you give us 500 Degrees? Did you give us Block is Hot? Did you rap on the hottest rap group that you just did a reunion tour, reunion show a couple weeks ago? Did you do any of that? Niggas ain't know who K-Dot was until 2012. When I bought his first album. Now, niggas probably knew in 09 or whatever. I'm talking about mainstream-wise. So 2012, Wayne rapping since what, 96, 97? So he had a good 15 years on you. So how does his hard work take him down? That don't make no motherfucking sense. That's the part that get on my nerves about Kendrick on that first track. But I'm going to just leave it there.
Yo, you crazy as shit, bro. All right, so Luther. Now, Luther when they did a dedication and they got the Luther sample with Cheryl Lynn
That was
and
fire.
featuring SZA, I said, bruh, and that's just a vibe song. You know what I mean? You got a bad chick in the wheel, you know what I mean? You doing your ones too.
Yeah.
Throw that Luther on, you know what I'm saying? You can't never go wrong with Luther, the song from Kendrick, or Luther, the Vandross, the artist.
Facts.
Either way, you good. Now, Man at the Garden is super dope because he did it for Nas. You know what I mean?
Facts.
One
That
mic,
was good.
dedication to one mic. You know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong. Nas been shooting another shots for Kendrick, you know, bigging him up all on his social media,
Yeah.
showing that he carrying the tradition of hip hop. So I love that. You know what I'm saying? Reincarnated, that was a Tupac homage, but also homage to just black artists and black people, period.
Yeah.
And that was a great story.
That was
and
definitely a good story.
and it made me respect his storytelling because I felt like he really got in his bag. That's why he got the prize winner. You know what I mean? He got real prolific in his storytelling. He was on his Langston Hughes. You know what I mean? You know, Gordon Parks. He was in his bag for real on that joint.
Yeah.
Now, Heart Part 6 is my favorite song on the album though.
That was good. The
That
SWV
shit-
sample, it
yeah,
was good.
the
He was
90s
telling
vibe.
the story about TDE, and the good thing about that song, bro, is that he took accountability for Black Hippie. He actually talked about his
Yeah,
story in
in
TDE,
yeah.
and I respected that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I like the production. I like when artists sample the 90s because 90s is my favorite era, no matter what
Facts.
you're doing, hip hop or R&B. So I like any artist that do that. That's why I like when Tory Lanez did that mixtape he did when he did all the different samples.
Yeah, Chicks Tape is fire. But
Yeah. So that's I mean, outside of that, I didn't. And Gloria is dope too because that's about his pen.
Yeah.
That was when he's the most vulnerable.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? But I feel like this album kind of like similar to Machiavelli. It took a page from Machiavelli because if you look at it, Me and My Girlfriend, you can attribute
Gloria,
Gloria
I
to
get what
that.
you're saying, okay.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of similarities in GNX, and you know that's a car. And that same car he came home in as a baby. His dad had a Buick GNX back in the day in '87.
Okay.
And he brought her home from the hospital in GNX. So, you know, and they only made 547 of them. So his pop was one of them that had, and he got one himself. So
That's dope.
And then if you think about it, I feel like that kind of like is parallel to his career because it took a long time for him to be the one.
It did.
And right now, let's be honest, he is the one.
Right now,
So
yeah.
if you look at it from that perspective, it all aligns with the album and everything. And that's the thing I can say about a Gemini. Like, he's a Gemini, Prince was a Gemini, Andre 3000, not no other Zodiac, but we think shit out when it comes to the art. It's a lot of underlining, and that's why with this album, you really gonna have to sit because there's gonna be more shit that you're gonna think and more shit that's gonna come about in weeks to come that we didn't peep.
It definitely had great moments on the album. Like you were saying, you pretty much summed it up for me. That it was definitely a West Coast sounding album. I think this for him
He captured that.
was supposed
and the
to.
video Squabble Up. He captured it.
Oh, I didn't see the video for that, but that's actually a good record too. Squabble
Yeah.
Up is a very good record. I think he had great moments on here, and I think, and this is just me being a fan, I think that he could have been one of them ones, but the same things that we love about the album, I didn't like about the album. And the thing was, yes, he wants to make it a West Coast sounding, but when you give me Reincarnated and then the next joint you give me is like Peekaboo, it's like a letdown. You get what I'm saying?
I ain't like Peekaboo.
For me, it's just like, if you give us so many of the great moments, Man in the Garden, Reincarnated, The Heart 6,
Right.
Gloria, you giving us the Kendrick that we fuck with. But I understand you trying to put the West Coast dudes on. But the thing is, when you have features like that, I just feel like if they're not a SZA or a Roddy Ricch that's going to add something to it, you're just trying to put them on, which is commendable. But when you give us those great things and we love you for the great things that you give us, when you give us the letdown record, it's just like, damn, it could have been one of them ones. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah, I can understand that premise too.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about Drizzy. So Drizzy, as y'all all know, it's a petition. So let's put things in context. It's a petition to sue. It's not an actual paper that's saying they're going to court. So I just think that this reminds me. This makes me think about 100 gigs. Because when you think about 100 gigs and you think about Euphoria and you think about what's going on now, it all is kind of like tied together in some way.
It is, because it seems like It's a money. I ain't gonna say it's a money play, but it's
to
basically
me, Drake is doing a petition to see how far he can take it.
That's why you my guy. That's why you my fucking
He's
guy.
seeing
It's the same shit. That's what he's doing.
He's seeing how far he can take it. He's seeing who's going to bite. And let's not forget about J. Cole, because J. Cole and Kendrick is shitting on J. Cole's rollout with Inevitable.
Oh yeah, that was.
You know what I mean? It's like nobody's talking about J. Cole, his shit being on DSPs. You know what I mean? The mixtapes or nothing. It's just like all about. So I like it's chess being played. It's a chess game. So he like, all right, I'm gonna throw these petitions out there to disrupt what's going on right now. Yeah. I know you got a new album, but I'm about to disrupt some shit. Mm-hmm. And I think that was his mindset going in. How far can I take it? And I think that's the same reason why he dropped the 100 gigs and did it on social media, because I think that Drake is trying to decide what he's going to stay with a major or he's going to go with an independent. And he wanted to see how successful those tracks were going to be to make the decision, am I going, because I already did everything with UMG.
Yeah.
I don't owe y'all. I made the bag back. I recouped all my bread.
Right.
I own my masters. Right. Now what's my next move? He's playing chess.
It's basically because we know him for the past couple years, even when he re-upped his last contract, remember they were saying, oh, is he just going to go with Apple and start dropping his own shit? Is he going to go independent? So like you said, it's basically, like I said, it's a play.
Right.
It's like, all right, y'all don't want to give me my bread? All right, cool. I'm either going to expose the whole industry or y'all just going to cut me a check or actually give me the check that I deserve. Right. So it's literally like.
But the thing I want these fans and people to realize, this is not about the battle
at all.
This is business. Now, one thing I don't like is all this suing for defamation. Like, bro, this is hip hop. We gonna talk about your mom. Fucking, if that's the case, Biggie should have sued fucking Tupac. He lied and said he fucked Faith. We don't know if he fucked Faith, but he said he fucked her.
Right.
So you can't like that. No, that's going too far. Now, if you just strictly business, trying to get your bag, do your thing. But as far as defamation carry, I think that's nut shit. And I think, even though it's a play, that I think his timing is off.
I don't think
he
so.
should have waited.
I don't think so, because this is the thing. We didn't know that Kendrick was going to drop this album on Friday. This could have been a lawsuit that already been. It looked like the way they were saying in the petition that he went to UMG. It was like, look, y'all doing this behind the back shit, this bot shit. Right. Y'all need to do something about this. And they told him, well, we not doing that, but Kendrick. If you need to sue Kendrick.
Right.
So if this was already brewing and he was already having issues, negotiation issues, whatever the case may be, this is something that was brewing. We didn't know Kendrick was going to drop an album out of nowhere. So basically, it just came when it came. So that's why when people saying it's bad timing, we don't know that Kendrick was going to drop what he's going to drop. You feel what I'm saying?
And he don't know it either.
Right. So what else? It just came.
And one thing we got to know about court proceedings, it can drag out, right? Even if it's a petition, and it doesn't matter if your name is Aubrey Graham, and also it's his company suing UMG. It's not him, Aubrey Graham, the person. It's his company.
Right. And we don't know if he had advisors that told him, look,
right.
Because let me give y'all some rapper 101. You know, as an artist, you can audit your label, right? To see if you was getting money. He probably audited his label and saw, listen, this money ain't where it's supposed to go. How he was getting all these streams and this, that, and the third. The nigga broke down that Spotify had worked out some type of deal where they was lowering the rate to get 30%. Not Like Us on the charts.
30%. And the other thing is, you tell Siri, let me hear Drake, Not Like Us get played.
That's what I'm saying. There's a bigger money play and like you said, when there's negotiations involved and they can knock down your stock, okay, we gave you 400 4 years ago, but you're not that guy right now. Kendrick is. So we'll give you a good 250. You're not taking 250 if you want 600 and you already recoup 400.
Right.
Business 101, y'all.
Yeah, for real.
But
yeah, that's pretty much it. But what you think 2025 look like in hip hop? I know, because I want to wrap it up. I want us to talk about what we think next year going to look like for hip hop going in, based on what we're seeing now. Do we think that Drake's going to drop the album with Party Next Door first? How you think this all going to play out? Because they are the top guys, but just overall, the atmosphere of hip hop, what do you think it looks like in 2025? Because 2024 was a crazy year.
I think for 2025, it's basically going to be, I think Drake is definitely going to do the Party Next Door thing first because it's a highly anticipated thing for them to work together on a fully collaborated album. But I think, and this just to be completely honest with you, bro, Cat Williams said it at the top of this year, a lot of shit going to get exposed with this Diddy trial. I'm sorry. I know we want to talk about who going to drop first and who going to do this and who going to do that. But with this Diddy trial, it's definitely going to be watched. Diddy and Dirk. I'm telling you now. So right now we could talk about the rap and everything like that, but those are the two biggest artists right now that's on trial. So
I do agree with your premise. I do think that this little Dirk shit is going to play out crazy. I don't think he's going to beat it, me personally.
Yeah.
I do think that is a possibility that Diddy can beat his because that evidence that they got, they did it illegally, so they can't use it.
Oh yeah.
So that made his defense look better. So that's one thing that he got winning for him. It's a lot of other shit, but I want to know who those other celebrities are on that list.
There you
That's
go.
my biggest. That's what 2025. I think 2025 is going to continue to expose the niggas. I think Cat Williams' thoughts are going to bleed into 2025.
Fuck a Epstein list, that Diddy list. Whoo.
Yeah.
I thought Jar White was saying some shit.
Right.
Diddy say some shit. He's fucking crazy. Well, yeah.
I don't know if he's going to take the stand though, but we'll see. I don't know if he's going to be a snitch, but we'll see.
I mean, shit. You see what Sean's saying nowadays, so that's all I'm going to leave that at right there.
Damn, Shy. Hey, we going to end it with you, Shy. Because you ain't
That's all I'm
shining.
gonna say. That's all I'm going to say.
You ain't shining, dog. You
all I'm
you
gonna
Huluing. Huluing. Documentations. Documentaries on Hulu.
Yeah, he documented some shit, but
Yeah. Well, you man, it's your boy DJ Bugsy.
It's your boy JK Trump. 2024, we making hip hop great again. You already know that.
I'm still mad at Trump one, but that's another story. Keep it hip hop. Peace.
Know that.